Story of Hazrat Yusuf, alayhi salam, and Zulekha. The story of Hazrat Yusuf, Joseph, and Zulekha, Potiphar's wife in some accounts, is a powerful tale of faith, patience, temptation, forgiveness, and divine justice, primarily recounted in the Quran and also found in the Bible. In Islamic tradition, Hazrat Yusuf's story is seen as a remarkable example of moral steadfastness and God's guidance. Early life and family of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam. Hazrat Yusuf was one of 12 sons of the prophet Yaqub, Jacob, known for his beauty, wisdom, and noble character. His father Yaqub loved him deeply, which aroused jealousy among Yusuf's brothers. The brothers conspired to get rid of Yusuf, and with a mixture of deceit and cruelty they threw him into a well, falsely telling their father that he had been killed by a wolf. Sold into slavery. Yusuf was eventually rescued from the well by a passing caravan and sold into slavery in Egypt. He was bought by a high-ranking official, often called Potiphar, whose wife was Zulekha. Yusuf's honesty, intelligence, and moral character earned him respect, and he was treated well by his master. Zulekha's attempt to seduce Yusuf, alayhi salam. As Yusuf grew older, his beauty became renowned, and Zulekha found herself strongly attracted to him. She attempted to seduce him, but Yusuf, a prophet and deeply devoted to Allah, resisted her advances, choosing to remain chaste. Zulekha's persistence reached a climax when she tried to compel Yusuf, locking him in a room with her. He prayed to Allah for protection, and at the last moment ran to escape her. When her husband walked in on this scene, Zulekha attempted to shift the blame onto Yusuf. She accused him of trying to seduce her, and Potiphar faced a dilemma. Witnesses in the household pointed out that if Yusuf's shirt were torn from the front, he might be guilty. But if torn from the back, it would mean he was fleeing. Indeed, the shirt was torn from the back, indicating Yusuf's innocence. Imprisonment and Yusuf's alayhi salam time in jail. Despite his innocence, Yusuf was imprisoned due to Zulekha's continued influence and accusations, and perhaps to protect the family's reputation. While in prison, Yusuf continued to live with dignity and devotion. His piety and wisdom attracted other prisoners, and he began interpreting their dreams, including a dream of the king of Egypt. Yusuf's alayhi salam interpretations came true, and eventually, the king summoned him to interpret another important dream regarding 7 years of prosperity followed by 7 years of famine. Yusuf's interpretation and plan for managing the coming famine impressed the king, who released him from prison and appointed him to a position of authority. Yusuf's alayhi salam rise and reconciliation with his family. Through Yusuf's effective leadership, Egypt was prepared for the famine. During the famine, his brothers, who had previously betrayed him, came to Egypt seeking food. Yusuf recognized them, though they did not recognize him, and after a series of tests, he revealed his identity. The brothers, ashamed and remorseful, sought forgiveness, which Yusuf granted, showing his compassion and faith in Allah's plan. The transformation and repentance of Zulekha. In some Islamic traditions, though not in the Quran itself, it is said that Zulekha, after suffering for her wrongdoings, eventually repented for her actions. Over the years, she lost her power, beauty, and wealth. Some traditions say that later in her life, she sought forgiveness and even married Yusuf after his rise to prominence. This aspect, while not universally accepted in all sources, adds a redemptive arc to her character. The story of Yusuf, alayhi salam, and Zulekha is filled with moral and spiritual lessons. Patience in trials. Yusuf's life reflects immense patience and trust in Allah's plan, even in the face of betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment. Resistance to temptation. Yusuf's resistance to Zulekha's advances is often highlighted as an example of moral purity and devotion to God. Forgiveness. Despite the wrongs done to him, Yusuf forgives his brothers and, in some traditions, Zulekha. Divine justice. Yusuf's story shows that God's justice prevails, as he is eventually rewarded for his faith and patience. The story of Hazrat Yusuf and Zulekha continues to be a source of inspiration, illustrating that true faith, morality, and reliance on God lead to eventual triumph and inner peace. And that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoy this story of patience and belief. See you guys in the next one.